What's up, guys? Today the 450 is finally getting some tires. It's getting 28-inch ITP Mega Mayhems. Gnarly looking tires, 1.5 inch deep treads. It's gonna be awesome. We're also gonna see how well the $50 tire changer from Harbor Freight works. Stay tuned, roll intro. Quick note on the tire changer. I took and I bolted it down directly to my floor. They say you can use a pallet and stuff like that, which it works, but it gets a bit wobbly, so I wasn't trying to have that while I was changing tires. I figured I'd do it this way, and I could also just unbolt it when I'm done with it and keep it out the way, and it's just gonna be some threads in the floor. Okay, after you pull your valve stems out and drain the air out of your tires, the next thing to do is to break the bead loose. Remember to break both sides loose. Always be sure to have soap and water at the ready. There you go. Zoom in so you see it's better. All right, so after you get your wheel or your tire bead broken loose, as you can see, it's good and loose top and bottom. Be sure when you put this on here to put this rod through one of the mounting holes. Anyone, doesn't matter. And now, for me, because there's a big open hole in the center of this rim, the piece that comes with the kit isn't quite big enough. As you can see, doesn't really get a good bite. Once we tighten that down, it's not gonna hold it enough. So I took and cut this board to length, and I used a 2-inch, I think it's a 2-inch hole saw to make it so it'll fit nicely over that. Drop down on there. I just had to cut it to width between to fit between the rim. So now you just take that, drop that on. So, tighten that piece down. Then just use your bar here, this end, stick it in there and make it tight. It's just the wood crunching this part. Ooh. Good and tight. Also split the board, minor. Okay, I'm gonna try and make it so you can see how to get the inside bead a little bit better. I'm not sure how that angle is, but hopefully you can see. Because on a wider tire, it's a little more difficult to do. Now, using this tool, this side is always the top side, as I had it upside down. So this is always the top side. So when you hook the bead, you hook it like that, and then it presses up against the rim. A little bit closer here. Both for the top and the bottom, this is how it goes. So it hooks it, and then you pry it right up and over. And then as you grab it there, you just push against this rod here. Push against it and spin it right around till it's off. Should have mentioned that before, but I really just wanted to show how the inside of the bead comes off, because this is a, I think 10-inch wide tire. So it's a little harder than the fronts. The fronts are only, I think, 8s. So to get these, it's just a little more of a pain on the bottom side. So same way, remember this down, and then just put it up against the rim like that. And you gotta pick up the bottom bead. Oop. Actually, if you can get against there, it's a little better. Kind of pick it up. You may have to rotate it, and then get under that bottom bead. Now once you're under that bottom bead, same as before, just up, and then just spin it right around. Just always make sure you got tires heading the right direction. Best way to remember which way the tires go when you're looking at it. Where's our mark? Traction that way. So traction, arrows pointing to the right. Your rim is facing you. Right means right side. So arrow going right, right side of the vehicle or the four-wheeler, be your passenger side on your car. Left, if the arrow's going left, left side, driver side vehicle. Same applies to this. There's no driver or passenger side, but same concept. Now, if you get everything good and lubed up enough, I'm gonna try this. I'm not make a fool of myself. Could get it started, and one good push should drop it right on. Ah. Three good pushes. Okay, so now for putting it on, you use what was the top side before, right there, this guy, and that now becomes your bottom side. So it goes inside, like this. And you're just gonna take, always pry against that. It's gonna go right around. Now, what I did before and what I think works, don't do it on nice aluminum wheels, but for these guys, it just makes it easier. Vice grips. Alright, as you make sure you hold good pressure on this because it will try to spin. That way, at least as you come around, you can get it started pretty good. Okay. And then usually always pops out about there every time I've tried it. That's why we got our 24-inch tire iron. We'll just walk it the rest of the way on. Just use one of your nicest little lips you got there. Put that on top of the rim. And just walk it on the rest of the way. And done. Put your valve stem back in. They have been seating around 25, 20. Woo! As you can see, my board broke, but whatever, it worked. Have to film some a little better next time. Always be sure to put your valve caps back on. Okay guys, so as far as the tire changer goes, as you can see, that got a little bit bent, breaking one of the beads loose on one of the rear tires actually. Other than that though, I gotta say I think this thing did really well. Yeah, that got bent, but I mean, I got a little bit rammy with it when I was trying to break that bead loose, so it might be partially operator error, but if you look at this, see how thin the walls of the tubing actually are. Not really much to it. Only thing I would do, honestly, I can replace that tube pretty easily, drill some holes in another one, and have that fixed in no time. Only other complaint would be the bar. It's a bit cheesy, and it leaves red marks on your wheels, which, you know, is whatever, but you can see the welds are kind of crappy and the burrs all over the bar here. But other than that, I would say it's a good investment. It's worth it. If you use it a few times, it'll pay for itself. So those are my thoughts on that. Looking at the rims, it left a little bit, if you can see that, a little bit of the red paint came off and stuck on the wheels. Like for me, like I said, I'm not terribly worried about these rims. Or the stock steel wheels, nothing special. But if you do have aluminum wheels, I would be careful using that bar at least. They do, Harbor Freight has a different tire bar you can buy. It's not much, like 20 bucks or so. And that would probably take better care of it. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is this thing looks awesome. If you checked out the last video of the lift kit install, you saw we got 11 1/8 inches over the stock 9.5. I want to measure it and see where we're sitting now. Okay guys, as you can see now, we're sitting at 13 inches. Now that is a pretty significant increase from our stock 9.5 that we were sitting at then. Hopefully now, with this setup, I don't have to worry about high centering this thing anymore in the mud. All right guys, we pulled her out so you can get a better look. That is what she looks like now. She looks like a beast, not gonna lie. Hopefully the 450 can turn these tires well enough in the mud. We are gonna test out these tires. We're gonna see how they handle on the road, what they feel like on the trail, and what they feel like and how they perform in the mud, most importantly.
All right guys, just gonna give you some first impressions with these new Mega Mayhem 28-inch tires on this puppy. So far, I gotta say, I'm liking them. The thing is handling better than I thought they would. There's definitely a noticeable difference power-wise, but they're good. I'm not gonna get into any mud today, but just a little light trail riding, a little bit of pavement. I will say on the pavement, you know they're there. They're a bit bouncy. They're not terrible. They're not unbearable, but they do bounce a bit. Cannot beat the ground clearance. And I will say, honestly, in the trail, like, I'm not one for going real fast anyway, so. Show you what I mean here. You can see the handlebars kind of shaking. We're only doing 5 miles an hour. You see the shakiness of these tires right here. But honestly, like, the faster you go, it actually smooths out, which is all right. Hammer down. Not terrible. It's definitely not what it was before. See if we can spin them a bit. Oh yeah, she can still break them loose though. Alright, we'll try this again. Give her a little top speed run at 0. Full throttle. Get up to 45 if I had a little more room, but it's still a pretty good run there. So I may look into a clutch kit, depending on what what benefits that'll be. If you guys know of anything, clutch wise or brands or anything, that would be the way to go. You just let me know in the comments. I'm just impressed that this thing will still break these tires loose, which is cool for being stock 450. I know it's actually a 500, but. And as I said before, again, I am not all about the high speed stuff. I mean, it's fun to go fast, don't get me wrong. I'll still keep my stock tires for when I want to do that, but yeah, this machine isn't for speed. It's for the mud. I enjoy going through the mud. I enjoy the challenge, as opposed to just hammer down. I will be doing a review on this 450. I just wanted to give myself a good amount of time and you know, make sure I kind of got a good idea of everything this machine can do, everything it could take before doing a review. So I got about around 200 miles on her now. Probably do a review soon.